live. There we go.
Tonight show.
Hopefully it's all working.
Guys, we're on the air for Jonathan.
Hey guys, welcome back to our live stream for February 3rd, 2024. This is the third one of this year, I think. And we've got a beautiful BDX behind us. If you can hear us, make sure you comment.
Dragon Killer's on.
And let us know that the audio is working and everything. It should be all good because we've got everything kind of sorted out now.
NAZ? NAZ is what, Nazareth?
New Zealand.
NAZ?
So, little summary of what's happened over the past 2 weeks, like we like to start the live streams. Basically, we've been working on the F-16, which is just out of view over there. And that's been kind of getting most of the focus. And we've been working on another special project as well, too. And that's basically what we've been working on for the past couple weeks. The F-16 has taken a lot of work. If you're caught up on videos, then today's video was putting the gear back in, I think, and a bunch of other things. I can't really remember what today's video was on. So yeah, that's what we've been working on. Lots of planes in the queue. The list is pretty insane right now. I know I probably say that a lot, but the list is actually, it's mental right now. It's cool, but it's pretty mental.
Yeah, you finally asked me to start coming in on Fridays instead of Saturdays. No problems.
So we unboxed the BDX earlier. So we're doing the, in this video, we're doing the wrap up of the unboxing for the BDX. And I was thinking initially about doing the entire unboxing, but a little bit complicated with all the different cameras and everything we've got going on, and trying to run our recording cameras along with you guys is a little bit difficult. So we got the BDX unboxed, and we'll be putting it together and finishing up the video in this live. That's the plan. So we've got some questions which were asked. Some of you guys are reaching out and you are emailing me questions. Thank you. That is the right way to do things, because then I'll print your questions off and we'll talk about them on the live.
So we're getting a lot of people saying hello, all from Tasmania and Georgia and all the other states, and I think I saw in England there too.
Awesome. I'm watching you guys on the TV behind Ward there, so
And
behind the
Dave's
camera.
on, Echo Smoke's on.
Yeah. So
Cool,
it's
cool.
really good.
So we'll answer questions first, and then we'll kind of get caught up on some of the projects we've got, and then we'll dive into the BDX. So question number one that was written down. So Sheldon said, how to spiral servo leads for the nose gear. So I've got one. I'll show you guys that after. That'll be the first thing we show you when we flip the camera around. So Sheldon, hold on tight for that.
I tried that, but I couldn't get it to spin.
Oh, it's easy. I'll show you the trick. Sorry, I keep wiping my face. I got Nez fur in my
Naz is
face.
doing
What are you doing, buddy? She's checking out the BDX. So we'll take a look at Sheldon's question. I'll show you guys how we do the spiral on there. It's pretty simple once you get the technique down. So Craig Laird also wrote in and said, I have two questions for the After Dark. Number one, do you have any tricks to fix scratches on composite aircraft? He did send a picture. And have you used cutting compound like you use on car paint? Yeah. So if your plane's clear coated, that's probably what your best bet is. I've never used it, but that's probably what you're going to end up doing. If it's not clear coated, I don't know, but it's probably clear coated. So I would suggest that. I don't have any experience with it, so I can't really give you any experience.
Fine grit. I've used it, fine grit polish.
Yeah. So basically, what I do know is you're essentially sanding down the clear coat, right, and repolishing it. So
you gotta be careful.
The other thing that Craig asked, question number two, was show the mounting of Electron retracts. Do you countersink the Electron mounts for the screws? So I'll kind of cover that stuff in two parts here. I'm going to pull a front gear out and I'll show you guys. Just give me a moment. So we will cover Sheldon's question first. So this is what he was asking about. So often in my builds, you'll see me do this on the nose gear, and then I make a plug-in where this just plugs into the airframe, and it allows some relief. I'll also do it on the main boards as well. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So first thing you need obviously is a servo. I like to use my longest Allen key, which is my 3mm bench Allen key, I call it. It's also got a big diameter, and yeah, it's the longest, flattest one that I have. And then, last thing we need is a lighter.
Top drawer.
You use a lighter, you don't use like a really hot, that's what I didn't do.
So this is the secret.
A hot air gun, that's what I tried.
So all I do is I take the servo lead and you just wrap it around your Allen key, your 3mm Allen key. And Ward's manning the camera, guys, so if you have any questions or comments, Ward will be looking at them.
Try to get those questions out, but I won't interfere John when he's talking.
Well, you can if you want.
I'll watch them on.
If somebody has some questions, at least let me know what they are so I can remember them.
Nick from New Zealand says hi.
Hey,
Summer
Nick.
here, got the heater on.
Yeah.
He says summer here and got the heater on. Wow.
So then so with this wrapped like that, then we take the lighter and we basically heat up one side.
Just one side.
North Star asks how you break the servos in.
I'll show you. So I just focus on one side first.
Okay, and then you do the other.
So, and you are getting it pretty hot.
Getting into melting point, I guess.
You're probably rearranging the molecules of the plastic. So quite a bit on that side, and then I'll flip it over, do the other side. On this black MKS wire, it's kind of hard to tell, but when you do the wire, like the brown and orange and red wire, that's this. It's easier to see because it kind of goes shiny.
Changes.
So if I touch this, it's definitely warm. You could probably use a heat gun, but I've never done it with a heat gun. I've just used my lighter.
Better control over the heat, yes.
I think so, yeah.
Also hotter. You get more instantaneous hot.
And then so now, there you go.
Oh, the little pigtails.
So that's the secret.
Curly pigtails.
Yeah, super easy to do. That's how I do it. That's the secret. I actually don't even think I've ever showed that in a video.
No.
Oh, that's a tip time.
That's a tip time. And this tip time has been brought to you by Trusty Bent Screwdriver.
Right on.
Live tip time, first of its kind. That's impressive. And if you want a Trusty Bent screwdriver, we sold 2 today. I don't know how many there, I think there's 8 left on the website. But once you can't buy them on the website anymore, once it says sold out, then they're sold out. So the other question was regarding retracts. So on a big plane like this, so these are for our special project. The big plane that this is going in, I'm going to be using bolts and blind nuts. So the bolts here, I don't do any countersinking. I don't fully understand the question, but the bolt head is just going to be sitting right here, and then our blind nut is on the back side of the piece of the mount or the rail. So that's how we do that. On lighter planes, if I'm using wood screws here, I'll just use an angled head wood screw, and that self-centers itself in the hole, right? So that's how I do it. I guess you could use a flathead or a panhead screw on these guys, but problem with that is then they're not self-centering and they're not helping to hold the gear straight. So if you had 4 panheads on there, then I guess they could technically move a little bit, but I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, so hopefully that answers your question, I think.
Yeah, countersinking is, I think, is in your, on your servo covers for the wings. I know you countersink.
Yeah, the servo covers, we countersink them, but not the gear.
Yeah, not the gears. They're hidden.
So he said, do you countersink the electron mounts for the screws?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm gonna do my apron up more. So that's the questions.
What one was this going into?
Special project.
Gotcha. long gear, that's all
And you were asked about the servos.
Oh, how I burn in servos, yeah. Let me just do my apron.
Ba-dum, ba-dum. Da-da-da-dum.
G-rated award.
Thanks, mate. That's what I wanted to know.
Awesome.
Thanks, Greg.
Okay, so servos. I show this pretty regularly in build videos.
I don't know what that was.
That was
Fell into
the
can.
332nd Allen key fell down.
It went to the box.
Which one, this one?
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Huh. Interesting. Stupid Allen key. I probably need the 332nd to tighten it up. Nope. 5/64 to tighten it up.
Hello from New Zealand. Miss 7.
So you guys have got to fix the tool first. If you don't fix the tool, then we'll forget about fixing the tool and we'll wonder where a piece of tool went. Okay, so braking in servos, use the jetty box. This is not a jetty specific item. Works for lots of different things. So we plug in our power and then we plug in a servo like that. And do you want to show the screen? So it says, first thing that pops up is impulse generator. So if we want to center our servos, we can hit yes. And so right now 1500 is the center. And we can go big jumps, so 1520, 1480, or we can do single bumps. So that's the impulse generator. And if we power this down, and then impulse generator no, servo cycle yes. Number of cycles, I just go 990 because that's the max the box does. And as soon as it starts, so right now it's cycling now, we want to increase the spacing to max to 500. So now it's traveling its max distance. And then my speed I always set to 30. So that's 30, I don't know what it means, 30 cycles a second or a minute or something. I don't know what it means. And you can go all the way up to, there you go, 99, and the servo goes bananas. But yeah, so that's how I break in the servos. I let them run. Takes about 20 minutes per servo. And they all get done and they get a check mark on the underside when they're done.
I like the BDX. Looks great. What do you lock tape those?
Ward, you got to follow the questions, man.
Yeah, he's saying lock tape. Yeah, no, thank you.
Yes, Kyle, BDX does look awesome. I don't think the color is going to show up well on cameras, but
It's a Dago orange.
it's
And you only
awesome.
countersink into wood, not into metal. That's a lot of the guys are talking about. You only countersink into wood, not metal.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
cool.
There's not really that many questions coming up. Nobody's asking questions. They already know everything.
Back to the plane.
Okay, here we go.
All right, BDX time. So we did our video up until this point of having the pieces all out of the aircraft. So that's all been recorded. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put the plane together. So we'll put the plane together in the live, and then we'll video the final part of our video. We do have the Revic bags to open up as well. So
Yeah, I'd like to see those.
there's a lot going on right now. So we won't video this in YouTube videos. We'll just open up the bags.
You got those new, hey, Echo was asking, you got the new tanks installed?
Oh yes, the tanks. Thank you. I knew there was something else. Thanks, Joe.
Hello, David.
All right, so Kyle, we've got, looks like a UAT for the BDX. We were waiting for this. Yes, we've got the UAT here. And I think we've got wiring harness as well. So we're all good on the parts for the BDX. And we've got our bags.
I think they're BDX bags.
They are.
Wow.
Is that wiring harness? That's what comes with the plane?
You can order it separately.
Gotcha. Just for those out there that didn't know.
A lot of things came with that BDX.
So yeah, those are the bags. Looks like pretty standard Carf stuff. The tail's kind of neat because it's all together. So rather than having two separate tail pieces, my bull was like this too, and it was kind of a nice way to carry it. So that's the tail bag there, or the horizontal stab bag.
That's correct.
Is that guy?
David says, howdy, Russell.
Yeah.
Our rudder bag.
And
And
wing bags.
that bag.
And they make the best bags.
Big wings.
Sure put up with a lot of abuse, those bags.
All right, so the other cool thing we got, and you guys will see this in the upcoming F-16 videos, but Joe from RC Custom 3D Printing, we got our tanks back. So I can't remember what video this is in the F-16 build, but I made a plug, not really a plug, a faux tank mock-up. These fit right beside the turbine is where these guys go. So basically they go like this, and they are smoke tanks. So I sent that file off to Joe. Joe made me some tanks for the F-16. The nice thing about this is they are right over the CG. So the CG is right in front of these guys, and then your saddle tanks are in front of that. So these are going to be perfect. I'll show you guys where they go on the plane.
Michael asks, what has been your favorite jet to build? So we get around to that.
Oh, that's a good question. Here's the CG on the F-16, roughly, of course. Saddle tanks are right here. Main tank is right there. Smoke tanks tuck in right like that.
Look at that.
So perfect. Engine rails go there. We got to figure out our bung setup and stuff, but those are awesome. So thank you, Joe, for making those up. It's a really perfect spot for the smoke tanks in this plane. I think that ends up being
You mean volume-wise?
volume-wise, I think they were 2.2
5?
liters or 2.4 liters, I believe.
You'll measure them. Because we talked about this 2 weeks ago about those tanks.
Yeah.
You'll got them.
I can't remember what the actual measurement is. I did them when I did the volumetric calculations. But anyways, they're, let's just say 2 liters-ish.
David says, very nice smoke tanks.
Yeah,
They are.
very nice.
Very nice. The other question was, what was my favorite jet to build so
Yeah.
far? So my favorite jet so far has been, man, that's a hard one.
Be honest now.
I don't know.
They're all been pretty.
Excuse me.
I don't know. I was talking with a guy yesterday about this stuff, and like, because I see so many planes, I mean, unboxing them is cool, but the feeling is different now.
Yes.
Like in the past 4 years, I've had, I don't know how many planes, hundreds go through the shop now. And you know, when I unbox this thing, I've always wanted a BDX, but it doesn't have that same feeling for me anymore. Like I'm not like, oh my gosh, like a vibrating kid on Christmas.
Not like the first L39,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I remember that.
yeah.
The first time is always the time you remember.
You know what? I
There's
guess
a lot of things.
that's probably a
time
good
for
answer.
choices.
Is the L39, the very first plane I did a video on. That's probably my favorite, and the only reason I say that is because that started all of this, right, with videoing it and putting on YouTube. So I'll say that's my favorite. There's been a lot of cool ones since, like the F-14, the one I did 2 years ago was super fun. Looking forward to this F-14. The F-16's been cool because it's got a ton of unique challenges. I've never done an F-16 from Skymaster yet. There's been a lot of challenges with that plane, just like extra work, painting gear, smoke tanks, reinforcing things. So
The A-10. It's sort of, not bad.
Yeah, they're all fun in their own way. So
But since I've been watching and working with you, I've seen your techniques and your style change. It's growing compared to the first time. You're getting, things are being done easier but better at the same time.
always learning, Mort.
Yeah, always learning. And you're also keep on rapping me, slow down, take it easy, relax,
exactly.
enjoy it.
So that's, yeah. If you have any other questions, guys, ask away.
North Star asked, do you make your own smoke oil?
No.
Yes.
Don't answer for him,
Yeah.
Russell.
Yeah, I did make my own smoke oil.
If you use like 90% diesel and 10% baby oil,
Mineral oil,
it works really well. Form oil, so form release oil for concrete, works really well. It's not a good thing to breathe in, so that's the only bad thing about using it. So, but it produces really nice smoke. Yeah, so I do make my own smoke oil, and it generally works good. So
Yeah, I should, because I mix my oil. Had to go and get a whole bunch of baby oil.
all right, so we're going to put this thing together. I'm just thinking I don't need to video anything for the regular video while we put this together.
I'll take over the camera thing.
You can go help him. You're standing here.
Oh, okay.
Go help him.
Well, you have the mic, you know.
I don't need help.
Since you're wearing harness.
Just bolting a fuselage together. Do you guys think I'm gimpy or something,
Since
or
your
what?
wearing harness is a power box and custom white, a harness for the BDX.
What?
Did you get that? Nope, you didn't get that. Okay.
What, custom harness?
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Russell's making
Since
too
your
much
wearing
noise.
harness is power box and custom why the harness for the BDX. That's by Sheldon.
Oh, just for it's really there's no other reason other than it's more advantageous for the owner of this aircraft to order it from BDX than for me to make it, I guess is the best way to put it. So
Cheaper.
yeah, well, not really. It's just the way things work out with stuff. So
Patrick says hello from the warm confines of Tucson.
Do you ever install the smoke tube outlet at the end of the turbine exhaust?
I have done that before on my Ultra Flash, and what I did when I did that was I used a
Or in the thrust tube?
3-foot piece of brass tube,
Alongside the
and I tucked it in between the two layers of the pipe.
inner layers, yeah.
So it actually worked really well, but I don't think it produced any better smoke. Obviously, it's heavier if you're using a big long piece of tube, and then the brass tube on the end isn't as nice of a nozzle. So that's some of the downsides to it.
Come over here.
I don't see any advantages, so I wouldn't really say there's gonna be any benefits to it.
No, we practiced or mucked around with that, I think I did about a year ago. About where to position the smoke tube and stuff like that.
You're hidden by the light. So move this way more if you're going to talk.
Yeah, we went through that. You were saying about where to put it behind the turbine, approximately where in the exhaust. It should be about in the middle of the exhaust stream.
Yeah, you just have to play with it. I don't think it's overly
No,
scientific. It doesn't need to be. I think too many people overthink stuff.
but what I was doing is I was taking the nozzle and putting it at an angle and spraying it like this down the stream. When I turned it like this, it sprays with the fluid. And then,
Yeah.
And it worked a lot better. It atomized better and billowed out. I think-
Good terminology.
Wow.
The atomization was better.
That's right, atomization.
Nick says it's a great scheme.
It is a beautiful scheme.
Thanks, Nick. It's going to show up so good in the
It
sky.
says just a small park flyer.
There's actually a fluorescent orange, but I don't know if you can really see how fluorescent orange it is.
Yeah, I
On
don't.
the-
When I
on
look
the
on the TV, it's not even close.
It's
No, it's like what Penske
Maybe,
used in the Marlboro schemes.
Yeah.
If we do that, it'll show up better.
Yeah, it's very,
Let's see if it
you
works.
see, as a fluorescent, it's really bright, but you really can't see it on the camera. It just
Yeah.
doesn't bring out the full fluorescent.
Yeah, like it doesn't change it.
It tricks the eye by the camera.
And it's going to be a scheme that wherever that plane is, you're going to see it.
You're running the Schwelen 400 has inspired me to build a test stand to run my King Tech 450, hoping to have the video done by the end of the month. That's from Jordan Epps.
Nice.
You need to come to Tucson, Russell. Yeah.
That must be from David.
Yeah.
No,
Nope.
that's from Patrick.
Oh,
Patrick, it's not on the cards. I wish.
And Nick says orange is always good.
Oh, that orange is
It's
brilliant.
bright. It's very bright.
if you want to bring the camera in, Ward, and
bring
just
it a
show
little closer.
everybody.
Yeah, see, I don't know if it's coming in closer. Will you see the orange?
Here.
No,
Oh, I don't care about the orange. I just want to show everybody inside.
this is beautiful.
So here's the layout. So we haven't done anything to this thing other than unwrap the wing tubes. So we've got the smoke tank inside. Russell, David says we'll miss you.
Yeah, I saw that.
So the stock pipe is in there, and then we've got the JT Hobbies, Joey Tamez pipe as well, which is,
Right here.
careful, it's like super sharp.
And also thin.
So yeah, this is the pipe that'll be going in the plane. So that's an upgraded pipe. So it's a little bit bigger pipe size, but that's going in there. And then we've also got a stainless steel exhaust. So that's the smoke tank at the back. You've got the main tank here. They all came pre-painted with our little visible lines there for best of bad part of TV is orange looks red, yeah. So here's the tail cone as well. So it's a little bit bigger diameter size for the pipe. So
Beautiful. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
make it like just.
You definitely polish it up in here.
Lance says, why didn't you show any of the Rebel hot build? Because I have nothing to show yet. It's not built. So it's still sitting in a box right over there. We've actually been waiting for a pipe for it. So here's the carbon tubes on the BDX. The main tube it's insanely thick, a couple millimeters thick. The elevator tubes or horizontal stabs, pre-done, pre-marked, aluminum installed. And then the other one's a rudder tube. And then, of course, the Elite Aerosports finished plates everywhere, the gear plates, which look super cool. So really nice job they did on this thing.
Nicely set out. Dave,
Yeah.
I'm impressed, Dave. I am impressed.
I want one.
What turbine for the BDX? He says, Dave.
Oh, this is going to have a Swewin 240.
Should be very good for up here.
Would it be possible to give everybody there a mic? I only have 2 mics that bind to my system, so it's only Ward and Russell. Ward and me. So Russell, if you want to talk into the mic, you got to be closer
He's
to
got
us.
to hug us or talk louder, because when he was talking over there,
to lean in and talk.
Yeah.
well, when you're talking out there, it's actually coming through, but you just have to talk louder.
Oh no, that's too small, he says. David. The man with the big 400, yeah.
All right, so we're just going to snug these guys up a little bit.
That's a nice scheme, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Very nice.
I mean,
Very beautiful.
they've got a lot of schemes that I've seen over the past year for people's planes and stuff, and they all look awesome.
Yeah, but that one, the way it is with that coloring,
Yeah,
like the other ones, it makes the front canopy look large,
yeah.
porpoising, but this doesn't do that.
And Nick says that hatch opening looks epic. It's huge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You basically have access to everything.
everything is there.
So hatch, let's put our hatch on,
It's huge and it's beautiful.
and then we'll put all of our surfaces on.
Walter Van Eek, thanks. I don't know what you think.
The BDX opening looks nice to work in. It is. It's huge.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just huge.
Well, and it's nice about the trays too. Like the trays that they have set out, like you can actually put stuff on, take it off, and put it and screw it back into place. That's very component-like thinking of them.
And David says that's the case for all EA sports jet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I put the hatch on. I need the tubes from the inside.
You're so excited. Slow down.
Yeah. Just like the Rebels. Both and the rear.
There we go. Nice simple canopy system. Big hooks on this thing too.
Yeah, like they're very meaty.
So we won't screw any of this stuff in. We're just going to place it in there.
We need some more thumbs up, guys. We got 73 people watching us today.
That's cool.
Alright. So rudder.
Look at that rudder. It has a big, huge letter A on it. Beautiful colors.
That's for Alpha. What I also like about it is how close the rudder is to the horn. Like there's hardly any, like where this is, it's so small, so you can hang that. There's no deflection issue.
Also center hinged on the rudder, which is cool.
That's neat.
It's nice to see.
Is it pinned?
It's got fiberglass hinges.
And David wants to know if this BDX will be set up on jetty.
Yes, it'll be set up on jetty. David, this BDX will be built just like you and I want it to be.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, Kyle uses DS24, Swewin 240. We'll have all the normal jetty stuff on this aircraft, V-Speak. We're also going to be putting a Sky Candy light setup on this aircraft. So Sal from Sky Candy is just wrapping up his BDX. The video came out today, I think, maybe yesterday, on his channel.
Oh, he's got a channel. That's good.
And Nick says it looks like an A7 rear end.
Looks like a what?
A7 rear end on that thing.
Is it?
It's 1:30 in the 1:30 p.m. Sunday
This one's got a
in
bolt in it.
Australia.
Yeah.
Soon I'll be there. And it's 3:31 a.m. in Holland.
Jeepers.
Talk about loyalty. Either up this early
awesome.
or haven't gone to bed yet. Don't know.
That's really nice of those guys. Yeah. You know the true enthusiasts is when they're up when
And
should
wants
be
to know if
sleeping.
it has a GS200 gear controller.
Yes, it does.
This does, yeah.
And ER50 gear.
Who was asking?
That was David. Yep.
And also ER50 gears. Just
And-
because of the weight.
Walter Mitty says carbon tubes with aluminum galvic
Down
corrosion
this.
and go. He does this for a living. This is 2 cents worth. Yep, that's fine. And it's 2:32 a.m. in England. You don't you guys sleep?
Not on live nights. All right, I think we got a bolt on that side too.
And
Yes,
David
we do.
wants to know about the struts. Are they ionized?
The landing gear on this one, they are
Oh, like color coded, yeah.
done in white powder coating.
Oh, really? That would look beautiful.
Yeah. I think they were supposed to be orange powder coating, but they came as white, but the white is going to look really classy.
I think it'll actually be better because the wings are.
Well, I think that
Orange would make it too gaudy.
part of the problem is I don't know if you necessarily would be able to get powder coating orange in this color. Maybe, maybe not, right?
That's true, never seen it.
So it would be probably a different orange.
Probably be very hard to get.
Yeah.
I hope he didn't disturb you drinking at the pub, Walter. He said he just came in from the pub. That's why he's up so late.
All right, so we got our ginormous wing tube.
And they were asking what is the length of the BDX piece?
We'll measure it in a second once we get this all together.
I'm guessing about 2 point, long, yeah, probably. I'm guessing 2.4 meters.
David also asked, did Joey do the
Yeah,
powder coating?
yeah, Joe did the powder coating. I'll show you guys the gear too. It looks really nice.
And the paint job looks really good, David,
Yeah.
on that.
Seeing this in person and actually getting to work on one, I really want one of these planes. Gosh.
It's huge. Like that's a huge lot.
You have to get rid of some of your other planes, though.
Why? I don't even own that many.
Well, you want the Rebel, the Elan, and I guess that's it, eh? Just 2.
The Rebel's just a warm-up. It kind of gets them limber for the jet flying.
Well, there she is. This is what she looks like in the air and on the ground.
Man, you can see
Yeah,
that
it's nice.
a mile away with that big stripe on the tip.
I think
Man.
it's probably similar size to the Kinetics. So I'm going to measure the Kinetics here.
Yeah, perfect. It will be the same
Yeah,
as the Razor.
Yeah, you got 3.
So 99 inches.
99 inches. Here, you want me to hold the one of them underneath?
Yeah, it's a straight wing. It's interested in the straight wing. Slight
Slight sweep.
a very slight sweep on the wings on this.
So my Kinetics is 99 inches. So right here, the BDX is 10 inches longer.
Metric for the rest of them.
So that's 109 inches. We'll measure it in meters here in a second. Got to grab my other tape measure.
And Gramoto.
So
says,
in
"Can't wait to see you
meters,
next
we
week."
are 2.8 meters.
I said 2.4, so that's a nice size.
And then our wingspan's probably 1.35, so 2.7 meter wingspan.
That's huge.
Well, there she is.
That'll fly really well.
Super cool.
Okay, somebody asked.
Those elevators are huge.
Yeah, they are. It's very disproportionate to the rudder, eh?
Yeah,
Like,
just
it's the rudder's teeny.
So it's kind of like the F-18 with like the flying right here. This actually becomes part of the wing.
What did
Yeah.
you want? What did you think would be nice powder coated in the orange?
No.
I think
Tricky-
when the plane's
Tricky
sitting
Ricky
too, it also sits like this, right? So it's a little bit deceiving
Yeah.
just the way it sits on the table, because when it's on its legs, it's more like this.
But see, with the way it's painted with the canopy, it looks very thinning and very long.
Yeah,
It actually looks very nice.
yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, whoever was
And
doing
Nick says landing gear would look tacky in orange. I agree.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees. White it works for
well,
it.
it looks navy-ish, right?
So I'll
Like,
find the
that's
landing
supposed to be
gear and
navy.
we'll take a look at that.
Wherever we threw that. I don't know where he was talking about for orange. Tricky.
Powder coated in bright orange. He says somebody's asking, have you powder coated in bright orange? And no, you haven't.
Fluorescent orange would be hard to do.
Well, even painting it,
Yeah.
because the painting it's any fluorescent, it takes so many, way too many colors to actually
Yeah.
cover.
And that's something that's very specialized shop to do.
Well, Not only that, the fluorescent paint costs a lot more too. Oh, these are the new.
So here's the BDX gear.
Whoa, with the new controllers, nice.
So yeah, there's the powder coated gear.
That is.
Let you guys have a good gawk at it. There you go. There she is. Isn't she gorgeous? Electric?
Electron, yeah.
Cool.
And then there's the mains.
That's the. Oh yeah.
So yeah, really, really nice. The powder coating obviously is nice and durable compared to just a painted finish.
Yeah.
But looks good. I think those will look real classy on that plane.
They'll look really good. Yeah. What controller did they send? Just that new controller?
No, it's just the GS200. It's just the standard setup.
And what is Sal from Sky Candy's YouTube page?
Sal's page is Flight Systems RC. So he kind of has a mixture of things on there. So it's a very little bit of Sky Candy stuff. Like yesterday's video was in installing the lights on the BDX wing. Lately they've been doing a rebuild of a C-117 maybe. Huge plane. It's going to weigh hundreds of pounds. Powered by two Olympus turbines. So pretty cool page. You should check it out for sure. Sal's got a lot of cool content on there, and a lot of it's flying videos as well too from their East Coast side stuff.
Kendrick said, sell the land, buy a BDX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want a Super Elan,
We have one
Yeah.
it's
available.
right there,
it
ready
is.
to go.
And she's a nice flyer too. She's
Make
really
me an
pretty.
offer because I would sell that and I would replace it with the BDX. Time for a new plane.
So offer an amount of money for a BDX.
Thanks, Ward.
Fluorescent colors fade very quickly. But that
Yeah.
looks awesome.
That's why you got to keep it
Polished.
You got to keep it in the bag.
in the shade.
Yes, undercover.
So you're gonna film that?
Yeah, I'm going to film the ending of the regular video now.
Yes. Who else is over there telling us to film? Somebody online.
Usually that was
It's always Nick that tells us to film.
I beat you, Nick. He's there, but I beat him to it.
Just going to take a quick look at the UAT.
Yes, they fade really quick.
And
Echo said, hi, Joe.
Ken is about the same size as the Rebel Pro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Kendrick, yes, there's probably a new one coming my way soon.
So Ultimate Airtrap, this is the UAT for the BDX.
That is nice, though. I've never really seen this. Is that glass or plastic?
Plastic.
Usually it would be plastic because that way it doesn't shatter.
Yeah.
If anything bad happens.
And then our wiring harness. Sorry for coughing into the camera.
That's amazing.
So these amp connectors, I've never used them before, so this is my first experience with seeing them. Very cool. So yeah, that's the wiring harness all done up and everything. So we need to just figure out how those guys all plug in, but it should be fairly straightforward because you've got gear lines, brake lines, servo lines. So easy stuff.
Those are huge crimps.
I
Yeah.
love the coating that they have on it too. It's nicely coated.
You mean like the sheathing?
Yeah.
Snake skin?
The snake skin making it look nice.
And also the brake wires already in there too.
Cool.
Gear up, gear down. That's nice. Nicely done.
Well, I don't get to practice making wire connections.
Those are huge. Like, you know, the wire connectors curl over like this on them.
Yeah.
They don't crimp down like this. They're, you could put a big wire.
All right.
Any questions? Is it a digital UTA? Somebody asked.
See, nice. There's the back of Jonathan's neck.
Time for a haircut soon.
No.
Oh, I got my other stuff to do here
It's a
first.
JMB Jets Airtrap. With the sock around it. There's a lot of people
David
that
S.
Twitter.
prefers ashlocks. You can test. David says ashlocks. You can test easier.
Yeah, I prefer Ashlocks as well. Very much so. So I'm not a huge fan of these amp connectors, but. All right, guys, so we've got some of our other parts that showed up with our Revic wing bags. The reason they showed up with the Revic wing bags is these came from Elite Aerosports. So we've got our UAT in the box here. This is for the BDX, the Ultimate Air Traps UAT, so that's part number one. And we also got the wiring harness as well. This wiring harness is from Elite Aerosports. The Revic wing bags are here as well. That's where those parts came in. So this has a full Revic wing bag setup. So we've got our wings, our horizontal stab, and our vertical. And the horizontal stab is a one piece there, so you can have both of them joined together by the tube, and they all fit in one bag. I kind of like this setup better. Yes. It's nice because you can keep the tube attached to one side very easily, and works really well. I like this setup. That's what my Bull had, was that setup.
That's a smart setup, actually.
Yeah. So that's all of our little parts.
Because Revic's looking, maybe they could do that with some other ones
They can do whatever you want.
as an option.
Russell, they asked if you got your jet done yet.
Who's this?
David?
Yes.
It's
I
Echo.
had work progress on it today.
Jonathan, just so you know, trusty bent screwdriver has gone over to the dark side.
1/6?
Yep.
RC
What?
Hydro Building. It's becoming a go-to in so many circumstances. Thanks, man. From John Hopeton.
Go.
He likes it.
Yeah, he likes it. It's gone over to the dark
Southern
side.
Rebel. I'm glad to be here. Hello, Southern Rebel.
Yes, we like everybody being here. It's really good. It's fun.
All right, quiet on the set. What beeped?
I don't know. That? Okay. No.
Oh, the card is,
Full?
no, the card's having recording issues. It's not a happy card.
What?
No, it's just not a fast enough card sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guys, here is the BDX fully assembled. She's a monster, very big plane. Just did some rough measurements.
I'll answer your
We are
question in a second.
109 inches in length, which is 2.8 meters long. And the wingspan looks to be 2.7 meters. Very, very nice. Awesome plane. The fit and finish on this thing is beautiful.
Stacy.
We basically have all of our parts in stock right now. The only thing we're waiting on is the lighting kit from Sky Candy. So that's something we'll be adding to this plane as well. But otherwise, she's ready to go, ready to assemble, because we don't build these planes anymore. We just assemble them. And here she is. Little dig for all you fans out there. So this will be coming up, not entirely sure when, but we'll be, cancel that. We'll be working on this soon. Thanks guys for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments about the BDX, make sure you list them down below. Also, I'll put a link to Elite Aerosports website down below, so check out their lineup of aircraft. They have some amazing planes, some beautiful schemes, and lots of fun times with their aircraft. So thanks guys for watching the unboxing of the Elite Aerosports BDX, and we'll see you in the next video. And we're going to stop that. Nope, just leave it recording.
You forgot to mention about
I know, I forgot to mention about the other stuff. So next section here, insert it previous to this section we just recorded. All right, guys, here she is all assembled. But before we talk and finalize this video, I need to share with you the lighter side of RC After Dark. That's our live channel. We're actually recording with the After Dark right now. So we have a video going on the unboxing and then the After Dark's happening. But the After Dark channel, it's a completely separate channel. And we do live streams here from the shop for about 2 hours every 2 weeks. So if you guys want to see stuff early, if you want to interact with us, check out the After Dark channel. There's some links down below. And the other thing I'll bring up is channel membership. We release videos on YouTube about a week or two early, and our channel members get to see those videos early. So right now there's 3 or 4 videos on the channel. I think I've got 15 channel members. Those guys get to see the videos as soon as I upload them and make them live to channel members. And everybody else that's watching, they wait until they go live on YouTube. So if you're interested in that perk, it is paid service, but check it out. Channel membership, links down below. There we go.
Okay, Devin from Proposers is on the hunt for
Prop
a
busters.
Okay, prop busters. Well, that's what he has
Sorry,
there.
guys, word's just learning to
No,
read.
I'm just reading what he has there. Looking for a Zykoy 45.
Oh, I was pushing the other one.
And Stacy snuck on.
Stacy.
On holidays?
Good man.
Wow,
Nice to
Stacy.
see ya.
Yeah.
How is it where you are?
He's
Warmer
under his,
climates?
looks like he's under his wife's name.
Well, of course, she's got all the
tech.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
looks damn fast just sitting there. Zoom, yes.
Yeah, it's
Have to head her out. See you later, Craig.
it's a strong plane. I've seen some guys put these things through the ringer. Where's my...
Yeah, it looks like a darn fast plane, that's for sure.
Oh, it's fast just sitting there. Someone else said that.
Stacy says it's hot.
Good. It should be.
Just tell them it was
So
raining
hot.
here today.
Yeah, it was raining, it
A
snowed,
little bit of snow
Yeah.
mixed in with
a
it.
little bit of everything.
Winter's coming back, so stay out there as long as you can.
Yeah.
And Cool Cat just showed up
Nice.
from the UK.
Howdy, guys.
So hot.
What other cool things do we have? Oh yeah, we've got, let's see here. Let's go on a little shop tour. Got Nez sleeping. I made some shelves for Nez today. So this is her little stairway all the way up to the mezzanine. She's just figuring out how to use it. Usually she goes on the ladder that I put right there and climbs up on the mezzanine.
Some improvement needs to be done though.
And there's you guys. Look at that, eh? Time loop. Time loop. Let's see. Come on.
Gonna go.
So he goes deep, deep.
Come on. Come on.
Get caught up. Get caught
Come
up.
on, get caught
and-
up. There we go. Oh, we're catching up. There we are. Oh, what's going on?
Time is flying all over the place.
There we go. Look at the screens.
And all of a sudden it's gonna blow up.
Oh yeah, because it keeps repeating.
Yes, each screen is 7 seconds.
Look at it, it's multitude.
That's cool.
That is quite the special effect we have going on.
This is Stacy's Rebel. So this is, I did a picture on Facebook. I think this past week we got our bags in. So this is Stacy's Rebel, which is the Infinity scheme. That's the Rebel Hot down there. We're just waiting on the pipe to show up. And then we've got everything to do the Rebel Hot. F-14's just hanging out in its all of its glory.
And SU.
SU's right there. Waiting on engines. There's the Super Elan.
For
If you're
sale.
interested in one, let me know. What else we got? Oh, we got the A10, which we just finished up. So the A10 is hanging out in the shop, looking all pretty. All of its ordnance there. We got the Venom. There's my Rebel. My Rebel got finished up this week as well, actually last weekend. 70 knot winds, that sounds terrible. There's Kyle's 339. Got a PC21 and a Kinetics. So that's a little dig around the shop here. What else we got?
I
Same
like
projects
those
up
Revic
there.
bags that you got for the Rebel. I really like that.
They're nice.
I'm gonna have to order one now.
Yeah.
Well, and when you order them, you can order it with the fuse closed or open, right?
This is nice.
Yeah, because then you can transport it with your stabs on or off. It doesn't really matter.
Align Welding
So-
picked
Really
up
nice.
John's SW140 today. Was purchased from you.
Who's that?
Come on, there we go. Align Welding?
Align Welding.
Yep.
I don't know who Align Welding is. Who are you? Good purchase on the 140. That was good.
What, a Schwinn? Mm-hmm. Oh, he picked up John's one.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, I was looking at that, talking if a line wasn't gonna get it, I was,
You snooze, you lose, man.
no, if it fell through.
That's what
Don't
happens.
see the engine for the PC21.
Oh, it's in a box. Actually, right behind my kinetics. You can stand there
Way back. There you go.
in the box right there.
And of course, you still have that other engine set up to go. That
Oh,
top
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically what we had planned for today. The T33's been on hold because there's too many other projects in the queue. Yeah, T33. It'll progress slowly once we get things caught up.
When it's ready, yeah.
No timeline on that one.
No, exactly.
Just enjoy it.
I think that's the gist of everything. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, ask away. We don't have any work stuff planned other than the BDX, which we did already. So if you have any questions, ask away.
Nick says the F-18 still in the rafters?
F-18
Yes.
is still in the rafters.
Still for
Up there.
sale.
Come on.
Andrew posted on Facebook today about it, so it's still up there, still available, ready to go.
It's still beautiful.
Still beautiful.
Yeah. And come on, nobody's asking any questions. They're just sitting there sipping on their beers.
Does the NES pilot come with the airplane? That can be negotiated, but if you are really interested, the NES can come with the airplane. Yes. Got the big Viper. Oh, cool.
3.4. Cool.
That's a big plane.
Align Welding. Who is that?
3.4? That's the guy that bought John's
Yeah, well, I
140.
want to know his name.
Oh, yeah.
though.
What's his name?
Yeah,
Align
what's your
Welding.
name,
What's your
Align
name?
Welding?
Just have to give the first name. That's all we need.
Bradley. Here
Hey,
from
Brady, how are you?
Miami. Man,
Oh,
nice. Hopefully it's nice and warm down there.
Of course it is. What does the cue board look like? Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, go take a look at the keyboard.
Well,
Things to do.
in no specific order, here's the video list up until the middle of March. Yeah, so there we go. So we've got Skymaster 1/5 F-16, which we're working on, XL F-14, which is here, SU-30, which is waiting on engines to finish. So that'll be one video left.
There's an F4 coming?
F4, the big F4 is coming probably in March, maybe. Wow. Super Bandit, oh yeah, forgot about the Super Bandit.
Yeah, what about the
send the pictures.
I can't send the pictures on
It's on
the
this
chat. It's on my phone. So Super Bandit, sorry guys, there you are. Super Bandit, it's done. It's painted. That's a cool update. I forgot about that. So the Super Bandit is painted. My daughter went to go pick it up. It's a 13-hour drive, I think, to pick it up. So she picked it up this afternoon, and she's on her way back, and she should have it back here tomorrow. So next live, we will have the Super Bandit in the shop. The Super Bandit's pretty much going to start right away. So we have a few projects in the queue, but the Super Bandit needs to be done for March, first week in March, because we're going down to Tucson Jets. So that's where the Super Bandit needs to come to. So yeah, Super Bandit is high priority list.
Somebody from Portugal.
We've got my T33.
name is Jeff.
We've got a new Ultra Bandit, which was added to the queue yesterday. So we'll just call that Ultra Bandit B. And we got a new BVM Super Bandit added to the queue yesterday as well. We'll call that Super Bandit B. So those two are on the same process. And that doesn't include the other Ultra Bandit we have right there. We've got Stacy's Corsair, the Hangar 9. which is that radial engine over there. We're going to have a video coming on that radial engine. That's about half recorded right now. We've got a BDX right there. That is that BDX for Kyle. We've got a Razor coming for David. Jurgen, that plane I think is shipped right now. It's en route. Stacy's A10, we've got to repaint that. We're painting his A10 to a black snake scheme. Special project we don't talk about. And Rebel Hot is in the box over there. Ultra Bandit Classic is over there for Stacy. Yes, Kyle. there are planes we need to add.
Don't see the OV10 on there.
He's writing it on right now.
Oops, this is hard to write and look in the camera at the same time. We have a Bronco coming as well.
Oh, really?
So the Bronco is kind of a cool project. So the Bronco is going to be, it's going to be electric, which is cool. It's going to show up here. It's going to get stripped. So all the covering's coming off. It's getting glassed, painted gray, rivets and panel lines added. And then the assembly or build will happen. So the Bronco is happening. That's added to the list now as well too. So that's a fun one. That's going to be totally unique to have that one here. So I know, David, I'll need a bigger whiteboard soon. Not only do I need a bigger shop, I need a bigger whiteboard.
Well, just have to cut down on the whining when you come in.
Oh gosh.
I see. Oh no. When he actually increased, said come in more instead of just Saturdays, he's getting busy.
Oh word.
Is that funny? That's mine.
Come on. Did you write your name on it? Oh. Write your name
Is this
on
mine?
it.
You sure?
Get one?
I don't need to write my name on mine because I own the place.
Some say.
Have you done,
The bank owns the
Have you
place.
Yeah,
done
exactly.
A-
We're working at owning the whole thing.
Have you done an A4 Skyhawk?
A4 Skyhawk. No, never done an A4 Skyhawk. That would be a cool option.
That's Daddy Longlegs landing gear.
Yeah.
And David says paint a whole wall white and make it into a whiteboard.
Definitely need a bigger shop.
Oh.
Chad. You could do the drywall, Chad.
I'm going to ban pop from in here, you know, I keep on spilling it like that. Shut up, Ward.
There's whiteboard paint. The whole wall can be a whiteboard. Yeah, that's true.
Well, I do have another whiteboard hiding back there, so we can add a second whiteboard.
Ah!
I'm good. Yes.
As long as it's not a jet fuel.
As long as the battery didn't go up in flames.
Yeah.
No, I forgot about that smoke fluid that it mixed completely.
Nick,
It made because it was so expensive, like the Sky.
North Star wants to suggest the very first jet.
Oh, you know, that's a hard question to answer. Sit down for that one. Yeah, let's have a sit down, a little fireside chat. Am I okay over here?
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah.
So first jet, it's a really tough question. And the reason I say that is there's so many good planes out there right now.
MB339 for first jet.
Yeah, like, I mean, you could go with any of the boomerang aircraft, like the twin booms. You could go with a Ranger. They've got a bunch of new aircraft coming out. You could go with a 339. The Rebel's a great first jet, the Classic, because it's a good size. It's well built. The difference is, it depends on what your budget is, right? If you want something really budget friendly and budget conscious, then maybe buy a used aircraft from somebody that you're very comfortable with as your first plane. If you want a new plane and you want to stay under a certain price point, the 339 is a great option. But there are so many good options out there. I've been categorizing planes into 4 categories lately. Yeah. And when people have emailed me, this is kind of what I've said to them. is, yeah, 4 categories with like level 1 being bargain basement budget from a manufacturer that maybe is just trying to get started. I don't know of any offhand, but I get lots of emails from different China companies saying, hey, we're building jets now. That would be my consideration of that level 1. Level 2 would be, these aircraft that are more basic and more budget friendly, like the 339. Nothing wrong with it. It's a wood plane, built a bit more basic. Nothing wrong with it though at all. It's going to fly really well and decent plane. Number 3, going up the ladder. Number 3, I'd consider things like T1 as an example. Maybe T1 is kind of that 2.5 to 3 mark. And the reason I say that is because their aircraft are generally heavy. So if you compare a Rebel Classic to whatever T1 is the same size airplane, I think the Rebel Classic comes in substantially lighter, depending on how you build it, of course. The way we build our Rebels, they're 20.5 pounds. I see lots of guys that build Rebels that are 25, 26 pounds. So those are kind of the 2 to 3 level. So 3 being like CARF. CARF I'd say is like 3.5. And then you've got a bunch of companies that are like 3.5 to 4. 4 being the top category. So like Hispano Aviation. When you open up a Hispano Aviation plane, it looks like a Ferrari, right? It's just beautiful on the inside. Everything's as light and strong as possible. Elite Aerosports, right up there in the category. I mean, you look at that BDX, and it is awesome. Every little detail is looked at. They're strong, they're well built, they've got a beautiful outside finish as well. So those are kind of your different categories. So you really have to decide where you want to go or where you want to start with your aircraft because there are so many different levels. Now, a lighter plane always flies better. So if you have a Rebel Classic that's 25 pounds or 26 pounds with no fuel, and you have a Rebel Classic that's 20, 21 pounds, the 20, 21 pound plane is going to fly better. It's going to land better because it's got lighter wing loading.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think you have to take into account your skill level.
Yeah.
Yeah, take into account your skill level and what you can afford to lose.
Yep.
Because you're going to lose the first one no matter what.
You're going to lose your first plane no matter what. So that's what I always did is I just budgeted myself for what I can afford to lose. So I bought myself a used plane that I just have to fix up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can fly it when I'm ready. I'm not ready to fly it yet.
So. I also, I guess, covering more new stuff, I got contacted by the AMA last week. Wow. And I'll be doing an article in, I don't know if the AMA publications are monthly or not, but
yeah, they are.
My article deadline is March 10th. So it's whatever article or whatever issues after that. And I'm also going to do a video on my article as well. So it'll kind of tie hand in hand. So the video will be not on my YouTube channel. It'll be on the AMA's YouTube channel. So those kind of tie in. And the topic of my article is going to be starting a jet from start to finish, basically, kind of my build process and covering everything. So keep an eye out for that if you're an AMA member. That'll be coming out in the next couple months. So.
Yeah, okay, let's go back. It says,
Thank you for talking about this. Really helps the new guy, North Star.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me just to say one plane, right?
No, there's a variety of planes
that
fit into that group.
My suggestion also is find something you like the looks of. Yes. Because you have to like the looks of your plane.
And also the flying characteristics.
Yeah.
Some planes are harder to, like my first one, the Viper.
Yeah.
It was a lot harder to land. It was very bouncy.
Yeah.
But it flew well.
Yeah, find something you like the looks of, but there's lots of good options out there. So. Hi, Katie.
Katie's here. She's hiding in the dark there, but
making her appearance.
So if you guys have any other questions, ask away. Otherwise, we're going to start wrapping our live stream up early tonight.
So early?
Oh, where'd that one come from?
It's pretty, hey?
You like that?
That's Kyle's.
Isn't it nice?
Come check out the inside.
Kyle, if you're on there, I love it.
Oh, he's on there.
You should see the inside of it.
Kyle, Katie loves your plane. I don't know if you could hear her, but
Yeah,
I love it. It's great.
it is.
Except it would be better if it was pink.
Oh,
Yep.
Hot pink.
Hot pink.
You can get that with hot pink.
You can get any color you want.
Neon. I suppose hot pink you could get. They'll paint anything.
nice, eh?
Chad Carr just said he has to get started on his AMA for Montana Jets.
Wow, Chad, you already should have it.
Yeah, it's a nice plane. Very nice plane.
Yeah, I'm actually going this year for a whole week.
And Chad, then you can write your turbine waiver
Yeah,
for down there.
it's the one that I've wanted forever.
Canadian
I
turbine.
like it.
I know. Me too.
Justin-
Live or not, sorry. She's got to get the hug.
Justin says he has to buy a newer truck with less miles or a jet. He has to decide. Tough
Easy decision. Easy decision. My Armada's got 240,000 kilometers on it.
Yeah, but it's got a Nissan engine. That's
True.
why.
That's the BDX we saw in.
Yeah, that's the one Allie was flying. Yeah, Kentucky Jets.
Gromit says,
Was it
is
that
this
big?
going to be a full-time job for you, John? Building planes?
It's coming, Kyle. It definitely is. It's, I mean, when I go back even 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I never thought the list would look like that, right? So it's pretty nuts. I love it. It's incredible. But I could take a month off of work, like my regular job right now, and just
The kinetic.
get caught up on this. So it's crazy.
Don't worry, I'm threatening him. I'm going to be showing up when I retire.
So yeah, there's lots of stuff in the queue.
You can buy one of those if it's pink.
Wow, I have my wife's permission to spend my own money. Isn't that nice?
And you can get a pink one.
Hot pink.
It's loading up in the queue. What's next?
Just the RC.
Sick.
Just go for the RC colors.
Yes,
Has to
exactly.
be
Actually, that would
That would be awesome.
that one
the
right
lighter
there.
side of RC
Oh,
colors.
you can
RC
see as the
colors.
gears.
I know,
are
hot pink.
Hot
Just
pink.
the orange.
Hot
The orange is
with
pink
a little bit
instead.
of yellow, like in there, and then the black and white.
Leading edge, you do yellow.
So we have a land for sale
Yeah.
And the kinetics, everything's for
and a
sale.
kinetics for sale too.
Everything's for sale. The prices are
Yes, for the right price. Yes.
not bargain basement blowout fire sales.
There's names you call people who just sell anything for money.
Nice. Rebel hot and pink. Yeah.
Nick says his Nissan Maxima has 500,000
Oh my
kilometers.
gosh.
Mine only has 37,000 kilometers.
Yeah, but the Nissans have
Yeah, buddy.
built a really good engine,
Yeah.
and also tranny too.
Did you see my ladder I built for her?
Nice. Is that why she was up there?
Yeah.
Only thing is that middle one
I
has to
have
be
to
bigger.
spend 32,000 or 35.
She was a little questionable at first because I put her up there and then she was like, "What the heck?" And then she jumped down. Then I put her up on the middle one because she goes 1, 2, 3, and then has trouble like turning around. So I put her up there on the third one, and then
We could
she
do-
made
we
it
could
up.
do a new live, what the wife color likes. Yeah, okay. Jeez.
So she's getting used to it.
Yeah. But the middle one needs to be made bigger so she can turn around. She's
Yeah,
kind of leery.
just-
Oh, I know, Chad. I know. What's the best way to remove high salt aluminum bung fitting on a fuel tank? Ooh, good question. You should be able to, if you've got a fillet around the outside, you should be able to use your soldering iron. The problem is that you could also melt the tank. But if you can get rid of most of the fillet of high sol around the bung and then grab it with channel lock pliers.
Brady is interested in the connects.
So just grab the channel lock pliers and give it a twist. Then it should spin free. If you did a whole bunch of sanding on the tank and the bung fitting before you installed it, chances are it's not going to come free. So you have to get a bigger bung fitting. So you just want to cut it out, get a bigger bung fitting. So
And what's his name again, said he's interested in the Kinetics. He'll email you?
Email me, Brady, if you're interested.
Please.
Heat gun, yes. David, that's a good point too. You can try a heat gun. You just have to be careful not to melt the tank, right? That's the only thing. But if you could use your soldering iron, hold it on the bung fitting, heat the bung fitting up, then you should be able to take it out too.
Yeah, heat
or use
gun-
a smaller torch.
Heat gun would actually heat the metal up and get it really nice, and I think Dave's right about getting it nice and warm with the soldering, heat gun, because you get the metal warm and then it will turn.
Yeah, the problem though is you can easily overheat the tank too.
Oh, yeah, because
So,
you're going to screw around with the epoxy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you just have to be
And that's the
careful.
whole thing, and sometimes you won't know it until later on. It starts to delaminate.
Yep.
Either that or she's going to come crashing down on the toolbox. Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
You're using Zycoy.
you could use what, more fuel? Variety of.
So Lance said, do you use Zycoy? It can use more fuel varieties over King Tech. I use mostly Sweewin on my aircraft. My Rebel Classic that I just built has my first Zycoy in it.
132.
The T-33 is going to have a Zycoy in it. Most engines are fairly universal with using all different types of fuel. I don't use diesel. I only use Jet A or kerosene. So diesel is really stinky, and I would rather spend the extra money to buy Jet A. So diesel for us is $1.50 a liter, let's say right now. Jet A you can buy for about $1.70 to $1.90 per liter.
Yeah.
Kerosene's about $2.50 a liter right now. So those are the three different levels. So Jet A is not that much more than diesel. Burns cleaner and doesn't stink, which is why I don't use it.
Yeah, everybody had the feeling you're burning diesel. It's like, oh no.
Yeah,
Plug the nose.
stinky.
Everybody's running around with nose plugs.
It's the initial and the startup, and when you turn it off.
Yeah, it's just like,
Just
and it stinks.
did
Keeps
you
the
turn
mosquitoes
did
down.
You turn the smoke system off? It's like Randy when he turns his off.
Keeps the mosquitoes down at least.
Health and safety needs railings, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to put a chain going up.
Nick.
Yes, put your fall protection on.
Oh my God.
Get a little helmet, hat for her, and safety boots,
You're gonna get me pee.
She's ready for sleeping.
Oh yeah, she's
and a white vest, and the fluorescent vest.
good explanation.
Thank you. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, ask away. Ask.
Jet A, a lot more refibbed, black soot with diesel.
The only other benefit.
Gil likes the smell of diesel.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The only benefit from diesel is you can lower your percentage of oil down to 3%. I do believe most manufacturers.
Some,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, refined.
You don't get any more power with diesel. You get more fuel economy with diesel, and it's like, if this is your fuel economy, you get this much more fuel economy. So it really doesn't make a difference.
How do you make your smoke oil?
Bingo.
You take 9 liters of diesel fuel, and you add 1 liter of baby oil, give or take a liter.
That's right.
And if you want it to smell good, you get the baby oil with like,
The powder.
the violet colored baby oil. What's that? Lavender.
Lavender.
Yes. Yes.
And then it's got a slightly diesel / lavender smell.
Hue to it.
I don't know if that's any better, but
Can you use bubble bath and get bubbles coming out?
no. And if you use too much baby oil, then it doesn't actually atomize very well. So if you go 50-50, it just spits more baby oil out and makes a mess. So
Yeah, it doesn't burn.
no.
It's the sulfur that smells.
See, there's that word again, atomization. See.
I know, we're just throwing it out today. It's good.
Adamant?
Adamantium, what's that?
That's an old cartoon.
Look
Back
this
in the
guy
old
in.
days.
And then the
Want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? We got to catch up here. This is pretty neat. I don't know why I like this so much, but we got to do this one more time for Katie. It keeps repeating itself over and over and over again and keeps adding more and more screens. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Here it goes.
So now you got a TV on a TV, and then you've got a TV on a TV on a TV.
And then it doesn't. I don't know.
Well, it's a 7-second delay.
And then a TV on a TV on a TV,
Just like multiple layers of flames.
The screen will end the universe.
That's it. It's just going nuts.
I love it.
When you're done at the field, what is a typical cleanup, maintenance, and routine you utilize?
Ooh, good question. I don't do a lot, so I will.
Jets are clean.
Yeah,
actually.
like
Jets are really clean.
if I'm at an event, I'll spend some time wiping down my airplane, but I just wipe the oil that comes on the bottom out of your vent line, or the fuel.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And-
There's nothing out of the back end. It's
No.
clean compared to gas-powered airplanes.
What's the main basic tip you would give to installing servos into the wings?
Make sure they're well mounted with proper screws, and Loctite your arms on. Loctite, Loctite, Loctite.
And make sure that they're absolutely in line.
Yeah, depends on the setup. Use the right hardware. That's another
Okay.
one as well.
Bradley, email sent. Hopefully you can get a look, work out a deal for you, Lan, I guess. Brad?
And hey, Jonathan, I'm currently building an ultra flash non-Evo Envovision.
Evo version.
Envoy.
Yes, I've had quite a few.
Did you use a wing tank or fuselage saddle tanks? And what elevator servos?
So, good questions. The non-Evo version, awesome. Good choice on the non-Evo version if you found one. So, with my Ultra Flashes, I always had the main tank and 2 saddles. If I was using smoke, I'd use the wing tank for the smoke tank, but the main tank and 2 saddles, and it also run the saddles in series. So what that means is you fill up the main tank, it fills up your 1 saddle tank, and then it fills up your 2nd saddle tank. So when it's pulling fuel, it's draining each tank separately. I like that way better than having the saddles drain into the main. Yes, they're, I don't know, a foot apart, but you don't notice any balance difference in the plane at all. But it just makes for a better fuel system with less air bubbles in the main tank. And then the servos. So on my Ultra Flashes, I basically have had 8411s on every Ultra Flash that I've owned. The last one, I had JR's newest version of the 8411, which was still the same case size before they made the switch. I think MKS would fit in there. Like, I don't think there'd be a problem fitting a 9930 or a 599 in the
So
in
you're
there at
saying
all.
they're like 38 mils wide instead of 40 mils wide.
Well, it's
difference.
the depth of the servo, right? Because the stab
right.
is so tight
Yes.
that when you put the servo in, if your servo is like 0.5 millimeter wider, you have to like start sanding out the skin, like the foam.
Oh my.
Right. So the depth is pretty tight. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, maybe check MKS's measuring specs compared to the 8411s, but I've always had 8411s in there. So
Somebody says Nick says transmission puts out a good
Yeah.
amount of smoke.
that's another good option as well.
Well, Cecil says concrete, form oil, and diesel
Yes.
50-50 mix makes good smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't breathe it in. The form oil is really bad.
Yeah.
So like if you're doing a low pass and you've got a headwind, don't use your smoke over the runway because you'll be breathing all that stuff in. So
It's a biohazard for all the other pilots.
yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Well, there you go.
It's how you had a moment. Whoa, that's why. Okay, I don't know what happened.
You gotta see this.
Yeah, that's Katie.
Yeah, I didn't make it
She
fall.
demounted it.
We're upside down, right side up. It's okay. Technical problems of originating.
Technical problems. Katie adjusted the camera, but
All right, we're gonna do a little switcheroo here.
with the ward.
Little switcheroo. There you go.
Tagged out.
Come on. Come woman the camera.
don't pull it back.
It's been a couple weeks since we've had you behind the camera.
They're looking
know.
for you. Speak.
Oh, Nez found the box.
Nez is in the box.
Steady there, yeah. Sorry about the earthquake, guys. We had a little camera adjustment. Is she hiding in the box?
In the skinny one.
Oh, she is?
In the skinny. I thought she was in
What
the
are you
big one.
doing?
Cat in the box.
What are you doing? Are you playing?
Now she can't get out.
That's awesome.
Who made this contraption?
I can't believe she jumped in there.
Come on.
How are you gonna get out, Nez?
Yeah. Nez room.
Joe says hi, Katie.
Hi, Joe.
Yeah, you really know.
Yeah, she wants to go back in there now.
Oh, she'll come in. She got in. She can get back in again.
What size motors on the OV10 and wingspan?
Oh, the OV10 it's huge. It's the Hangar 9 one. The motors are, I forget what model motors we're going with. Actually, I might be able to look it up.
Is that the one you're converting to electric?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen those Broncos before, and I've never seen one fly. I've seen one on YouTube. They're interesting things.
Yeah, so the Kyle, the owner of the BDX, he's a full-scale pilot. He's flown one. Did a bunch of training in one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Would you prefer the non-Evo Ultra Flash?
Yes.
I wonder why that is. Any major flaws in the EVO?
The Evo it's just built not like the old one.
E-Flight Power 180 for the Bronco.
There you go.
On the screen.
Probably from Kyle. Thanks, Kyle. And we'll also be using the Meson, the Jetty Meson speed controls with that because it just works in conjunction with everything. So seems like you prefer the non-Evo Ultra Flash. I'm just wondering why that is, any major flaws. Basically with the non-Evo Ultra Flash, the benefit to it is you can run the full bypass. So you can run your intake duct, your bypass duct, if you have it, of course. But it's just a better design with the full bypass. Yeah, I think when they got rid of that, it was a mistake. That's my opinion.
You had one with a bypass.
I've had 7 of them,
And they all had bypass.
pretty much. I've taken them out too, like taking the bypass out to see the
you
difference.
notice a
Very,
difference?
very different. Yeah.
Better or worse?
No, it's worse. Yeah, the bypass is better.
It's because you control in the air and pushing
Yeah.
the air into a spot.
I mean, the Ultra Flash, when the air comes in the intakes, especially with the new Evo, the center tank is in the center. It kind of dips down a little bit, so it kind of creates a tunnel effect where the air comes in the intakes, goes to the turbine. But when you've got that fully bypassed and ducted and everything, you know, the air, it's almost like the F-16, right? The air comes in, goes through the middle duct, goes right to the turbine. So you're not dealing with any air turbulence inside the plane.
No.
So you can get a faster plane, right?
Because you're forcing air through faster.
It's just got a nice clear path to go.
Yeah, you're channeling the air into a spot. Right?
You know, you look at like the BDX as an example, or like my Kinetics, or even the Ultimatum that's up there. You know, the Ultimatum is an insanely fast plane, but it's not going to be as fast as a Super Bandit.
Yeah.
But here, the way the air comes in, the engine sits right here. It's coming right in.
So the engine's here, but you still have your air coming in. Some of it's going right into the engine, but some of it's going to be tumbling around, right?
Yeah.
So that's why this isn't going to set any land speed records, because it's,
But most of it, when the engine's here, it's just going to draw it. Just you're not going to need a duct here.
yeah.
They'll just pull it like a.
Were you going
especially
in?
with the 240 in it.
You going in?
Nick says they should start making the full size again.
Full size what?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Nick, what full size?
Full size what, Nick?
Come on, Nick.
Lance says, is Loctite E30CL the best clear general purpose epoxy?
E30? Which model?
E30CL.
No. What's the cure time on that? Nick? Or who said that?
Lance.
Lance?
There was somebody who just bought a the 160 and is putting a 210 in it.
I've never used that stuff before, the stuff that you just mentioned, but this is the two that I use most often. This is actually the one that I pretty much use exclusively. So the 9462 is the staple, basically. So the problem with 9462 is it's a 24-hour cure time. It'll kick off in
3 hours.
about 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, if you heat it, it becomes thinner initially, but it kicks off quicker.
Yeah.
But the 9462 is your best for kind of everything. The, what is this, E20 HP, very similar to strength on the 9462. I have no problem using this stuff. It kicks off in about 20 minutes though. Still full 24-hour cure time, but it kicks off quicker. This is 2 to 1, and this is 1 to 1.
Nick says 180s. Wow, 12s plus then. And then Jagman says, is 100 Newton engine enough for the Ultra Flash?
Yeah, it'll be enough. The very first Ultra Flash that I had a JetCat 80 SE.
Really?
And the JetCat 80 SE at the time, I think, put out 100 Newtons and flew very well. My favorite engine I've ever had in my Ultra Flash has been a 140, just because it was it was still fast, but it was a nice combination. It was still, you could still slow it down is the best way to say it. I've flown one with a 170. My last one had a 170 when I sold it, and the 170 was mental. I would take off and just go straight up. It was fun, but speed's only fun for so long. You'd spend most of your flight at a quarter throttle if you wanted to do like aerobatic stuff. And I've flown one with a 210 in it, and that is, it's just bonkers how fast it is.
You're borderline
It's
wrecking the
it's
airframe.
dumb. Yeah, it's so dumb. But yeah, so a 100's good. 140 is better. It's my suggestion. It'd be the best compromise of them all. So.
Brady says, I just bought an Ultra Flash EVO, no bypass, so just had to replace the 160 with a 210.
Eduardo asked about
210. You're putting a 210 in your Ultra Flash? Is that what you said?
Bring that back up again.
Yeah, no, that's what he said, yeah.
Eduardo asked about crimping servo lines. He's having problems.
No, the white guy was saying he was taking a 160 and putting it at the
It's
210.
down further, hang on.
Doug said, with the large selection of servos out there, how do you narrow it down for a build? Ooh, good question, Doug. That's a good one.
There's-
Can you find that one there?
Lance says 30 minutes, that's the epoxy.
Oh, yeah.
Nick says, yes, 2 12s, 7,000 milliamp LiPo, 20 times 10 props. Any advice about crimping servo cables? I was practicing last 2 weeks and didn't like the final result.
Keep on practicing is the best way.
No, I did a video. It was in the old shop, so it must have been like, it's more than two years old. But the video I had, if you go to my channel and look, if you go to my channel and you can go to videos and you can just scroll through my videos, they show up in date order. What's that called?
Chronologically.
The thumbnail for the video, and I show how to crimp and stuff, is like these crimpers and like some servo lines on a whitish background. But look for that. It's very obvious. No face in it or anything, but if you watch that, that will help you out. They're very close up, and there's a lot of detail in that stuff. So.
And then a lot of it is practice.
Yeah.
It took me forever to just put some pieces together, and I failed on some because you can pull them out. So it's just a matter of practice it, making sure you get the procedure down. Then once you get it down, it'll start becoming faster. But it takes me, it'll take me 10 minutes to do a piece, whereas Jonathan does it like in 2. So
Like about 20 seconds. You've seen him, he just goes.
Yeah. So it's
Just
just matter of
puts
a lot
them
of
in.
it's practice once you've got.
It's like a minute, he can do a whole 3 wires, bang, bang.
So
Whereas
can I.
me is, really? I'll pay to see that.
Okay, so servo questions.
We have a competition going here.
So here's my servo box. We pretty much use, for the most part, we kind of have some staples in our servo selection. So let me pull some out here. So that is the staple servo. So this is going to be for general aircraft. Sometimes when you get into certain aircraft, you need different servos.
Like small ones.
Yeah, small ones, right? So that changes a little bit, but this gives you a basic idea of what we would generally use. So here's the order. So you've got your 1220 servo, 1220 high voltage. This is what we use on most steering servos. This is about $100 US. Great servo for steering servo. Lots of guys will use this on an entire aircraft and they work fine, but we use this on steering servos unless it's a big airplane. So that is our steering servo. The 9930 is the next one. The 9930 is kind of the staple servo, so it's about $150 something US.
And it's a coreless too.
Yeah, so this is coreless, good torque on it. We pretty much use this on most planes. Hopping up from this one, you've got the 599 SL.
That's the best.
So the SL is what we did on all of our CARF Rebels, our classic Rebels right now, because if you think about it, you can do, either of these servos pretty much weighs the same. So if you do 8 of these servos and they weigh 2 pounds, this servo weighs almost 50% of that servo. So you can save 1 pound off your aircraft by going with these servos. So on the Rebel Classics that we've been doing 5 of these guys, 2 of these on the flaps, and a servo like this on the nose gear. So that's kind of the mixture. The 599s, they also are amazing. They're brushless. Like my Kinetics, for example, has all 599s everywhere. My Rebel Classic has these 2 in the tail just because spacing issues. This one in the rudder, this one in the ailerons. I think these 2 in the flaps. So the 747, great little servo. I love this servo. It's teeny and it has so much power for the size. So this guy here, you're at generally running 8 volts. So you're 15 kilograms of force, so 34 pounds of force.
That's a lot out of a small
Yeah,
servo.
really nice servo. So you'll have like planes like the big CARF MiG-17. This is the servo that's on the elevators of that big plane. So great servo. So that's kind of the staples right there. We vary a little bit. Like on our big F-14s, the tail is going to the 3850 servo, which is the next step up from this guy. So 8mm output shaft, more torque, more power.
Also bigger arms too on it.
Yeah.
You get
All the
bigger arms.
connecting rods. And
That wasn't his question.
yeah, that should be part of it.
No,
That's the next.
not doing it.
That's the next mechanical piece down the line.
Somebody asked about.
So hopefully that answers your questions about servos. How do we go about it? We just kind of say, let's use 9930s everywhere. Let's use a 1220 on the steering. Do we need anything else anywhere else? So that's kind of the substitute process.
This guy here is good. Do you think the reduction of a max RPM on a turbine or lowering it of recommended idle significantly impacts reliability? Well, you can't lower the idle on it because that's preset.
You can lower the idle on some of them,
Some of them? Okay.
but it's not a good idea to lower the idle. But you can lower the max RPM.
Yes. And that's usually done with the fuel pump.
No, you just do it in the ECU.
ECU, okay.
What was the question? Does it affect reliability? I think it does.
Yes.
Long term, if you think about and that's one of the things I really like about Sweewin engines. And most other manufacturers have gone away from this route, but Sweewin engines, you generally have a lower RPM at max RPM than a similar engine from another manufacturer. And the intake on a Sweetwind engine is usually a little bit bigger. So a centimeter bigger, so half an inch bigger is pretty common. But if you're spinning a 240...
Could you try?
If you're spinning a 240 engine at, I don't know, 118,000 RPM, and you're spinning another company's 240 engine or similar engine at 150,000 RPM, if you think about the 24-hour period, obviously you're not at full RPM all the time, but if you think about that 24-hour period, how many more revolutions the engine has on it during that period, if it's all at max RPM, it's an astronomical amount. Yeah. So does it affect the engine? I think it does.
It'll affect the ball bearing.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's spinning faster for longer, right? So I don't know. That's just my version of it. I don't know if it actually makes a difference. So
There's a couple other questions there that we missed.
Do you think you'll get into thrust vector jets like the Carf J10 or Eurofighter? What are your thoughts on that kind of 3D jet flying?
I'm not a fan of it. I've never been a fan of it. I enjoy watching guys do it because you see them sit there and hang in the sky. I'm like, that's kind of cool, but it's just not my cup of tea. I don't like doing it with prop planes either. It's not my cup of tea. So probably not something I will do. It also is very difficult on engines and very tough on engines is a better way to say it. There's a lot of engine manufacturers that are starting to or have said that they will not warranty their engines in that type of plane, or they don't recommend installing it in that type of plane under that type of use. The gyroscopic forces, if you're doing, flat spins and stuff, is really difficult on those engines. So.
And you're also using them also at higher RPMs all the time.
Yeah. So not my cup of tea. I'm not interested in it. So I wouldn't mind having a jet that could do it, but I probably wouldn't spend much time doing it.
Edgardo says, by the way, I watched your interview in RC Skybound.
Oh, thank you.
And I would like to let you know that I appreciate your effort in your videos. Thanks to all that you do.
Thank you. That was a good podcast. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun sitting down with Juan and doing that podcast. It was pretty good conversation. We touched on some good topics. We did discuss some power box stuff as well. So
Wow, that's good.
it was good.
It's always interesting to know what others are playing with.
Yeah.
Brady said, did speed runs on the Flash got 350 to 400 miles per hour? Definitely a speed demon.
Yeah.
Miles per hour or kilometers?
Says MPH.
I have a hard time believing it.
The Ultra Flash is fast. It's a fast plane. If you're using GPS, those are going to be a bit skewed, but if you're using a pitot tube and airspeed sensor, then it's going to be realistic. So.
And that's why we're actually going. I'm like you. I'm calling pitot tube by far the better way.
Yeah.
But air pressure.
Yeah, I mean the Ultra Flash is fun. I've gotten to the point now where I don't miss it enough to ever want another one. The reason I've had 7 is because I ended up selling them, buying another one, selling them, regretting selling it, buying another one. This last one that I sold, I don't have that same feeling anymore, so I won't own another Ultra Flash. So at least, unless one just falls into my lap. But yeah.
How about a diamond?
No, I won't own another diamond either.
Look, it's a fellow wife on there. Hey, Nadine.
That's actually Stacy.
Stacy.
He's on Nadine's thing. They're on vacation. They're in Australia right now.
What
and
the
they
heck?
Said it's bloody hot, he says.
I don't feel bad for you now.
Exactly. Enjoy the heat because it's.
Yeah, it's too much though, because like say, a friend of mine's 27 above, and I'm going, ugh.
You know
and
what?
that's the morning. It's just the morning.
After-
It's not. It hasn't got into the heat of the day.
After 2 weeks, your body can acclimatize quite well.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I can.
I go
Really
to my air
quick, 2
conditioning.
weeks.
I like my air conditioning.
And that's about all we have here for heat is about 2 weeks of hot. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Where did summer go?
Exactly.
Hey, the bugs came out recently.
Yeah, it's been so warm
It's
that
been so warm,
bugs
there's
came
been
out.
Really?
bugs.
I haven't seen it.
All of our snow melted, which is awesome.
I trimmed some bushes to get ready for the spring, and they're actually trying to start to bud.
Oh yeah, Jet Guy. David's interview was tons of fun. I enjoyed it as well too. It was cool to have him on there. No selling the T-33? What? Are you buying the T-33, Joe?
No selling the T-33.
He doesn't want you to sell it.
I know. I know. There are some interested parties right now in the T-33, so we'll see what happens. Didn't have GPS or pitot tube, just had Max standing by me with a speed gun. Ah, cool.
Oh, that would.
Nice.
That's pretty.
Should be accurate.
Yep.
Should be pretty accurate.
So-
They say they test them every day before they take
Radar
off.
or
Laser.
laser or radar.
You'd have a hard time hitting it with laser. 'Cause
David said over here. Might be David that's interested in the T-33.
Oh, I think so. I think so.
Where do I get my power box wire and connectors? That's top secret.
That's top secrets on the need to know basis.
So I actually can't buy it anymore. I don't know if I could or not, but I just like saying that I can't buy it anymore. So I get other people to buy it for me. No, it comes from Europe is where I get it from. So connectors, I kind of get them wherever I can find them. Sometimes Thunderbolt has them in Canada. Sometimes DreamWorks has them in Florida. And last time I ordered a bunch, I ordered them from Jag RC, which is
Yes.
Heli Direct or Boomerang Jets. It's Greg Alderman. So that's where I got my last batch from.
But Stacy says, I thought the T-33 was spoken for.
Who said that?
Stacy.
Well, probably. Probably.
That's because he looks like Nadine.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm like going like.
That's normal for Stacy.
Ever thought of putting a
That's
recovery
quite
chute
the
on your
uplift
builds?
there, Stacy.
Good question. I don't know if that would be feasible. Like you really have to be, I think, in a right situation for it to work.
For what?
For a recovery chute. I think you'd need more altitude than we generally fly at.
For it to be effective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, I mean, if you've got it coming out of the back of the airplane's going to land like this.
Yeah, you'd want it in the center of the fuselage like that reciprocating one where it just kind of.
But it's not going to be.
I know.
It's not. The plane's not designed for
That's
even this type of landing,
I know.
and you're probably going to wreck some stuff, right?
You're gonna wreck the fuse.
So-
So you wreck the fuse as you buy a whole new
Yeah.
airplane.
I don't think. Yeah. So to that end, I don't think it would make really a difference.
Yeah, because usually most of the crashes happened at about like 100 feet. You lose your
Wow.
you lose your ability to control it, and then you
Yeah.
go
You
down.
can't really say that though.
up at higher.
It's not 100 feet. It could be higher. It could be
Yeah.
lower. It could be a dumb thumbs. Could be an issue. Like
Yeah.
they happen all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Pilot air, yeah.
But most
So-
of the times that you have an uncontrolled crash is from a low altitude.
Yeah.
If you have engine dies and you're up high, you can recoup and glide it back in.
Yeah.
Why?
So you don't want to put your chute out that time.
That's when you got all
True. That's
Right?
that's a good
when
point
you got
too.
all those pilot skills coming
Yeah.
in, and all of a sudden when you dead stick.
Yeah.
At a lower altitude, well,
So that's a good answer too. Is like I would rather try and glide it in than try and shoot it in.
That's
Right.
right.
So
That's right. We have a friend, Gary Roush, and he's down in Australia. He's had 5 flameouts on his Advanti, 5 or 6, and he's only had one of them that he's actually banged up the wing on. It's amazing to watch him work and land that thing. It's absolutely amazing.
using like a microphone.
Yeah. Hello. Testing.
Can't talk unless the microphone's in front of your face.
It's a skill set, I tell you. It's nerves of steel because you have to rack through your brain what you got to do right away and where you're at.
Jagman wants to know, can you share your thoughts on Bluebird servos? I'm eager to use them. Low price, high torque, soft start.
When you ask questions like that, it is difficult for me to give you an opinion on them because
You're getting pigeonholed.
I don't have a lot of experience with them. The only experience I have with them is putting them on Chad's F-15. He's actually on this chat right now. He would support them. Would I ever use them in my plane is the better question. I would not. So.
There's other brands too, like Savic servos too, you could use.
Thanks, David. Take care.
See you, Dave.
Have you ever done a video on how you crimp the power box servo connectors? Yes.
Yes.
Have I ever had one fail? No.
We had an aircraft.
Sheldon wants to know, a lot of smoke fluid talk tonight, but what is your smoke pump of choice?
Swewin.
Sweetwin
Easy. Teeny weeny. Works well.
works really well.
Compare it off of a 7.4 or 3-cell LiPo. And so it pretty much works in any situation. If you run it on a 2-cell LiPo, it actually makes zero difference in flow. So either works fine. Yeah.
Doug Kaiser's asking about an engine set up as a single or twin. How do you choose?
If you had an aircraft that can be set up a single or twin, how do you choose?
Like
Ooh, good question.
F-18, right? You can have a single or a twin.
I think if you can go either way, I mean, twins is cool, and the benefit to it is there's some built-in redundancy.
Yeah.
The downside, of course, is cost.
In weight.
It's going to be heavier.
Fuel.
Doesn't really make a difference. Like, I'm thinking back to the F-15 that we built for Chad. That's now got twin 190s in it. When we built it, it had twin King Tech 160s. And that plane could have been set up easily with a Swewin 300, which would have been lighter, a couple pounds lighter, and better fuel draw on the plane. So, but then of course you've got only one engine. So kind of a tough call, really. I mean, yeah, it's a tough call, I think. Like when I see David's F4 fly that I built last year, it's cool. Like with twin, and people think that that's a dumb plane to put twins in. It's awesome. I think it's great.
Really well.
Yeah, and the F4 with a single flies amazing as well too. So it's kind of tough to that. I don't really have an answer to that question.
I think it'd be more like a choice of if you want to be more like the real plane has twin engines, then you might want to put twin engines in it. When if it only has a single engine, well then, yeah, you want to put a single engine, but that'd be more like your own preference and taste.
Yeah, exactly.
But not necessarily.
Yeah. Anthony, you're finally tuning in. Yeah, it's a tough question to answer, so.
There's one.
So what's Kelly's son there who flies that F-15 with that single?
Jagman says, after watching your Skybound RC podcast, great podcast, I went and looked at the Powerbox forum. I was really not happy with how Powerbox team responded to your video. Really surprising. Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. And that's...
Are they still whining
It's
on
nuts, actually. If you want more entertainment on that topic, if you go on to RC groups,
Oh, yes.
in the radio forum, you kind of have to search for the lighter side of RC radio test type thing. It's very similar, and there's a lot of guys on there from the Powerbox forum, but I agree with you 100%. I think they handled it very poorly. If I was to ever share my emails that I received from those same people, it would blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind. I mean, they were, it's very much the same context as what you saw on the Powerbox forum, but a little bit next level. So I will never share those emails, but I would love to, because they would be, it would floor you.
And they're still whining on that?
No, he's going back to the radio test.
Oh, okay.
I did a podcast recently
Okay.
with Skybound RC, and that was a topic we discussed.
Oh.
So,
Stir it up again.
well, no, it's not bad to talk about it.
No, there's a lot of guys in Europe who fly Powerbox who
Yeah.
are upset about that too.
Loading up my Rebel Pro for some flying tomorrow. Yes, twin sounds amazing, but I agree with you. You have to decide what works best for you.
And
Yeah. Well, guys, we got about 3 minutes left, and we're going to stop the podcast or the
witching hour
live.
is just about ready to go.
So if you have any final questions or comments, ask away. Next live will be middle of February-ish. Something like that.
17th?
Near
February
Valentine's,
17th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, middle of February, and we will, I don't know what'll be gone and what'll be coming and
Any
going.
experience with Pro Modeler servos?
0.
I've heard good things about them.
Yeah.
Haven't seen many of them out there. They're
What?
supposedly military grade.
What model Fluke multimeter do you use?
I use not a Fluke version. I'm not that rich. I bought this one when I was a kid.
My son has one that size.
A Radio Shack pocket digital multimeter. This one sits in my toolbox because it's teeny weeny, and it works pretty much for every application.
That works really well.
So that's my normal go-to because it's tiny.
Here we go.
The big boy one.
And this is my shop one, which is, I don't even know what brand it is, but it's that. So that's it. Nothing exciting. Russell doing the hustle.
Fluke 87.
Oh,
is
Flight
the best.
Systems RC, any interest in checking out the new AR wire from Booma? Yes. Good question, Sal. I actually would like some AR wire to test out. So if you know of anybody from AR, I would love for you to reach out to them and have them reach out to me. If anybody has like a piece or 10 feet they want to send to me, I'll pay shipping, I'll pay for the wire, whatever you want, or a section of it or something. But I would like to get some here to try out. I'm excited to see it. I've done a little bit of research on it, and it looks like cool stuff. And yeah, I wouldn't have a problem. I don't think I would have a problem using it in any of the builds based on what I've read about it so far. So
Who makes AR wire?
AR,
What is it? Is better like
it's just wire.
more fire resistant or
Just
heat
wire.
resistant? Just wire.
The reason
Well,
that it's
then what makes it so cool?
the reason it's important is because there was 6 months of last year where you couldn't find this anywhere in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a.
And the only reason I had no
Shortage
problem
of
is
it.
because I had 2 spools here. So that's why.
Ah, okay.
What was that, Katie?
Shortage.
Well, is that what you're saying?
She came with a brand new ProLink Air gear. Should I replace it with electrons or something?
I wouldn't. If it's brand new ProLink gear, that stuff is awesome. It works great. Put a little bit of silicone lube on each side of the cylinder and you'll never have problems with it. It's good stuff. Put electrons on it if you want to spend more money, but if it came with ProLink gear, I would just use it because it's good stuff. I had quite a few Ultra Flashes with air gear as well. So I think my first one had air gear. My second one had down and locked converted Bayotech gear. My third one had Bayotech air gear. Fourth one had ProLink gear. Last one had Electron gear. The one before that was Electron gear. So I've had all of the different gear. The ProLink stuff works awesome. Worked really well.
Cool.
I don't know if you can still get legs for them. So if you can find legs for them, like I think DreamWorks had the legs, if they still have them. But if you can get another set of just the legs, I would suggest getting them just to have those as a spare. But the gear is tough stuff. So,
Cool.
all right, guys. Well, that's everything. Thanks for tuning in to the lovely BDX version of the lighter side of RC After Dark. Definitely jealous, Kyle, of this plane if you're still on here because this has been on my want list for 2 years now. And it's cool that one's here. I'm sad that it's not mine, but I'm happy that it's yours. So thanks, guys, for watching. And we'll see you in 2 weeks on the lighter side of RC After Dark.